Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a gentleman who I discovered through his fans. His fans are the most loyal, dedicated, amazing fans I have ever met, and they absolutely love this man. He is a country singer-songwriter from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Please welcome Scott Brandt. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great. I want to thank you so much for having me on your show. And all my fans that got me on here, I want to thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I adore you.
Yeah, they love you. I mean, love you. I've been getting messages all day about when you were coming on and when they could hear you, and they are crazy. And it was Brandt's Babes fans that turned me on to you and asked me if I'd have you on the show. And then I'm like, well, of course, if he says he wants to come on the show. And I'm in love with your music. We're going to talk about the one song towards the end of the interview that I absolutely love. But basically, I mean, tell me your story, Scott. Like, when did you start on this journey?
Well, I guess we'll go back to about when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I wasn't in school yet, and this was, pre-video games. There was no Sega or no PlayStation when I was a kid. So, I was just home with my, my coloring books and, just playing with my toys, whatever. I wasn't in school yet. And my mom, always had her friends over, and, they kind of had, like, the coffee clutch, my dad used to call it, like, there's like 3 girls over, my mom, they'd have coffee, smoking cigarettes on a table. So I don't know what happened. I guess I just wanted to mix things up a little bit. My mom always played Elvis and Kenny Rogers when I was growing up. And she put on one of the Elvis records with CC Rider on it. I think it was Elvis via Hawaii, via satellite or whatever.
Okay.
And this is when record albums. This is when record albums were on a turntable.
Yes.
And CC Rider starts out with this whole, horn section thing. And I came out of my bedroom and I gave my mom and her friends, unbeknownst to them, a special Elvis dedication via Scott Brandt 4 years old. So I hopped up on the coffee table. I had a towel around my neck as a cape, and I did the whole Elvis live, via satellite, album when I was 4 years old for my mom and her friends. And I used the hairbrush as my microphone. And
I think we've all done that.
Basically, that's what happened.
Wow.
I guess since I was 4, I knew that I was going to do something. I didn't know what, but I was never even a singer. I was always a guitar player and a writer or a lead guitarist or a hired gun for years. I really only started singing back in 2012, 2013. I haven't been a singer my whole life. I was always the guitar player, the background vocal guy, the writer, but I was never like the frontman singer guy like I am now. I kind of never wanted to be.
Oh, I'm so glad you changed your mind. Oh my God.
Well, I tell everybody people are like, oh, you're a good singer and stuff like that, and I appreciate the compliment, but all my fans that know me and love me, I don't claim to be a great singer. I'm what they call a singer by necessity. In other words, I just kept getting things going and very close to getting a record deal and or this or that. And the singer would like screw us over. And we had one singer named Mike, and his mom had 4 birthdays one year.
4 birthdays, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, Well, his grandma died like 4 times in 1 year. His mom had like 4 different birthdays.
Wow.
And like he kept missing gigs and doing this. So, the guitar player, to keep the gig. So me and my drummer and my bass player, we kind of had to learn to sing, because we had, really good paying gigs. And when you do what I do, you make a really, a pretty penny, being a professional musician, on the Jersey Shore area. We're working 5 nights a week, and So I had to do what I'm doing now. So I'm more into the guy that you hear singing jukebox and all that. You know what I mean? I was never a singer before, you know. So
Wow, I would
this
never have
is
known.
something that I'm kind of new at. So I don't play. Everybody knows I'm a singer, but so yeah, I mean, playing lead guitar in bands, and I played in different cover bands, and different original bands. And everybody liked the way I wrote. So I actually write songs for other bands, that were garage bands or country bands or pop bands or rock bands. So like, I like that riff. Can you write something for our band? I wrote wedding songs for people. I wrote songs for TV commercials for different stores.
Wow.
So I mean, I've been writing music for over, at least over 10 years at least.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad you just, okay. So when I listen to you, like we talked about this before the interview, I hear Garth Brooks and then I hear a little bit of Alan Jackson. You've got that mix kind of perfect. It just, you're you can tell it's Scott, but you've got, and I mean, for you saying that you were a singer by necessity and you never planned to be able to pick up those two artists out of your voice lets you know right there that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, because I can hear both of them,
Yeah.
and they're huge. Both of them are huge.
I love Alan Jackson and I love Garth Brooks. Maybe I love Garth Brooks a little bit more. But I mean, I've always loved Alan Jackson. It seems like if me and Alan Jackson were to ever get together, it would probably be like looking in the mirror, because it seems like him and I have so many things in common.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to my songs, listen to his songs, and I try not to listen to anybody at all, because it's a distraction when you're writing and making an album.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sound like anybody else.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there that, you get music in all the time, Alex.
Yes,
I
do.
There's stuff that is probably unlistenable, and then there's like a duplicate Luke Bryan, or there's a duplicate Jason Aldean.
Yeah.
And it says like, look, man, you're really good, but did you know Jason Aldean pretty much does the exact same song that you wrote?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a big distraction for me to listen to other artists. But when I was listening to Garth Brooks all the time and stuff like that, and Alan Jackson, I mean, there's nothing else better. I mean, at my house we have parties and stuff like that. I'm a musician, so people come over and we hum and strum till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. With the barbecue and some a couple adult type beverages.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything's on my on my CD player or my iPod. And my next door neighbor now, he's a good old boy from Pennsylvania, and he's so pro Hank Williams Jr. And listen, I've always loved Hank Williams Jr., but when he moved in next door, it was like Hank Williams Jr. moved in next door. It's like he's like the outlaw guy.
Well, and, his music's crazy.
The other day, it was just like he was great. So his name's Greg, and if he's listening to this, I want to give a shout out. He's the best next door neighbor in the world.
Awesome.
And,
hello, Greg. Yeah, and Hank Williams Jr., I don't know if anybody's listened to him. I mean, we know about Hank Williams. We know about Hank Williams Sr. If you listen to Hank Williams Jr., your head's going to be banging. I'm just giving you a heads up about Hank Williams Jr. He takes country music and he's throwing, like, I don't even know, death metal in there. And oh my goodness, it's just crazy. He's so talented, though. I mean, it's so crazy that there's so much talent in that family. But you can hear you. Like, it's you when you're playing. Like, when I hear your songs, I can hear Scott. I can just hear those influences in there. And it's probably because, I mean, you are a huge Garth Brooks fan. And you've got the same energy as him. Because when Garth came out on the scenes, he wasn't typical country. And his stage shows weren't typical country shows. I mean, the guy would run from one end to the other and jump. And, I mean, he was insane. But that's what captivated all the people. And, I mean, he's got millions and millions of fans, for good Lord. He's Garth Brooks. And you remind me of him a lot. So keep doing
Thank
you,
you. That's
but yeah.
a huge compliment, Allie.
Oh God, no, I'm
Huge.
serious. Definitely serious. So at the age of 15, you made your first professional appearances as a musician. You've played over 1,000 shows in New Jersey and various locations through the East Coast. And in 2013, you started incorporating more of your own songs in, thank God, and started doing either solo acoustic performances or played with your newly formed band. So how long have you and the band been together now?
Well, I'm still with the same guitar player and bass player for over 10 years now.
Okay.
Actually, John Miller, um, we've been together, I think, since 2001 or 2002.
Oh, wow.
And his mom is president of the hi Denise, if you're listening to this. Denise Miller is the absolute best. I'm going to give her a plug. She's more of a bluegrass type of country. She's got an absolutely wonderful voice. And when I first started out, like I was saying, she's the president of the Acoustic Musicians Guild
Ooh.
in New Jersey. And, you know, there's just a really cool scene over here. And, you know, everybody will take you in their arms if you're honest and loyal, you know.
Awesome.
And, so I've been playing with the same guys. I mean, you know, I use a couple different drummers because I do so many different things. You know, I do my own songs, which are, you know, original gigs, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I sell a lot of records, you know, doing that, and a lot of downloads, you know, doing my songs live. And then I also play like a lot of bars and stuff like that. And I play cover songs.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll hear Scott Brandt doing Garth Brooks. You'll hear me doing Georgia Satellites.
Keep your hands to yourself.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's cool.
I do, you know, she grew up in the Indiana town. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
nice.
I got my harmonica out, you know.
And it's so sad that we lost
my
him.
whole cover thing. And then I do an Elvis oldies show, where, as you all know, if you're listening, Scott Brandt is the biggest Elvis fanatic. I love Elvis Presley. I want everybody to know that I love Elvis Presley. That's all I got to say about that.
Have you been to Memphis? Did you go to Graceland at all?
We're supposed to go this summer. A real quick story is I was going back and forth to Johnson City for a while. And every time I went back and forth to Johnson City, everybody was just like, why aren't you stopped at Memphis? Why aren't you stopped in Nashville? Like, Scotty, you would do great. Just go out there on the corner with your guitar and, you know, start doing your thing. And I'm like, well, you know, I have a family-run business that I own. I'm an entrepreneur in the daytime. You know, and I do really well with the music, but, you know, I've had this family-run business for a while. I have family members that work for me and depend on me that have mortgages and car payments. And, you know, I just can't, you know, fold the business and, you know, go on this thing. So, you know, if I go on tour, you know, which I'm going to go on tour, not if it's when I go on tour, I'm grooming my nephew, who's 28 years old now, you know, to run the business via her. And, you know, pretty much that's why I'm able to talk to you on the phone right now and not have to worry about, you know, the big boss man.
Well, I'm glad. And I mean, your nephew must be excited. Now, let's talk about, okay, so not only, you keep saying you're a singer by necessity. I'm just saying you're a singer because I love you.
Well, thank you.
You play the bass, banjo, mandolin, ukulele, drums, harmonica, and piano.
I forgot to mention the saxophone.
Oh my God. I'm going to melt. Do you know, I love the saxophone. Kenny G makes me melt. Okay, don't even tell me you play the saxophone. Okay, go on.
I play the saxophone. I'm definitely not Kenny G. You know, I'm more like the sax player from Back to the Future when they were in the 50s band and they played like Jungle Trap and stuff like that. You know,
that's like, cool.
So I'm not Kenny G. You know, I play alto. So. You know,
that's okay. Saxophone. I got this thing for saxophone.
Yeah, I love musical instruments. You know, my grandma was you know, the church organ player. You know, and so you know, we grew up we knew the Bible inside out by the time we were pretty much old enough to read, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So, and everybody had to take a whack at playing, the piano or the organ. You know, Scotty wanted to play guitar, and Grandma was really against that. So it was just like, look, why don't you learn how to play? So I kind of learned how to play the organ, the piano, and stuff like that, and keyboard, just because it was kind of forced on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which made me not like it. And like with my kids now, you know, I, I I let them do what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I try not to force anything.
Mm-hmm.
Our 7-year-old, he for the first time he grabbed my bass guitar the other day, and he started banging out like some songs. My son, the 7-year-old, he's into like Chris Brown and Sam Hunt, and he
Ah.
loves me. He listens to me on his iPad like all the time, and his friends listen to me and stuff. But my other son, he's like a little bit of like a hip hopper, like he's into Usher and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like between the two of them. So what I do is I bought Michael. He's a 10-year-old. I got him a digital sampler,
Okay.
so he could do like all the Usher type of stuff, and Will I Am and all that. Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
And then Joey, our little guy. He's pro country. I mean,
Awesome.
he just don't mess around. He knows all the words to every one of my songs. He actually helps me write some stuff.
Oh, that is so cool.
He'll play the keyboard. He's 7 years old playing the keyboard. And
Wow.
he knows the notes on the keyboard, and I'm like, Joey, give me like an AFD so I can come up with this guitar, this change and turnaround for the song.
Uh-huh.
And he'll do it, or he'll help me with the when you're at home and you're writing demos before you introduce them to the band. And a lot of my fans know, because I send my close fans, I send them demos of my songs.
Okay.
Like it's like up close and personal. This is for your ears only. And
Mm-hmm.
a couple of them heard my new one. It's called Kisses,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this my new album that's coming out. We needed a slow song.
Uh-huh.
So you can't just set out to write a slow song like you're gonna go like put the stuff on your driveway, or it's not raining today, so let's mow the lawn. You can't be like, well, let's go write a slow song. It doesn't happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed a slow song for this record, and we started the record last June, and we're pretty much done with it, and we finally got the slow song. So it's called Kisses, and I sent some demos out to a few of my fans.
Nice.
And that's the way it happened. So the demo was just basically made on my iPhone, with me singing into the iPhone with an acoustic guitar or a drum machine in the background. And then from there, I let the band have it,
Mm-hmm.
and first I get feedback from my fans, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to let me know, whether you should go with it or like leave it alone and like go on to something else. And luckily, everything I've given them, everybody's loved pretty much. But so you give it to the band, and then they pretty much they put their own flavor on it.
Wow.
And my drummer, that I use in the studio, he's a doctor. He's a resident doctor. He goes to Drexel in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. Mikey, if you're listening to this, your beats are fantastic and everybody loves them. He's the drummer that you hear on Jukebox, that song that you love.
Ah,
And
okay.
so what Mike does is he puts his own flavor on it. He loves doing the country thing with me,
Mm-hmm.
but he's on YouTube doing one of the 21 Pilots songs, like perfect for the T, doing the drum cover of it.
Wow.
So, everybody in the band, has something to offer,
Mm-hmm.
as far as talent and, having the quote unquote, in parentheses, chops. And
Mm-hmm.
what chops means is that you can play like you wrote it,
Exactly.
and that's the guys that you need in your band,
Yeah.
You can't have guys that go in there like, and they don't tune their guitar, or, it has nothing to do with money or anything like that. It has to do with being a great musician. And, I tell everybody, look, I'm nothing fancy, but I surround myself with,
Talented
amazing
people.
talent.
Yeah.
together we make what you're hearing and what you said you loved. I take it as a huge, huge compliment. I'm flattered that you love, the music that you've so far.
Well,
So,
and
thank you so much.
I love that you incorporate your fans, which makes sense why they're now like, because I'm serious, your fans are amazing. Um, Also, not only do you send out your demos and ask them for their feedback, which is the highest honor ever, um, at each event, you would give them a CD of the single You Don't Love Me, which is cool. And one of your fans sent the song to a radio station, which debuted it on the air in 2015. And following the success of You Don't Love Me, you've released 2 additional singles to radio, One by One and I'm Your Man. And both singles became internet chart-topping songs in Arizona, Ohio, and Florida. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks to your fans for doing that. And now you're...
I'm getting a little choked up here and you say it all because, it's a cool realization that I'm one of those people. I just keep moving forward,
Yeah.
and I don't look back. I just keep on going. But you saying all this stuff, it's kind of like getting me all choked up. I'm like, hey, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to talk about more cool stuff. Okay, so your fan base and radio airplay has continued to grow. Your music's now being enjoyed by global listeners all around the world. And showcasing your singing-songwriting talent in March of 2017, you released your debut 10-song album, Tonight's the Night, which includes the 3 previously released singles, along with 7 new songs. And the album gained favorable reviews throughout the US and also got international radio airplay. So you were worldwide. Now, once I put this up, everybody that's listening, I'm going to be tagging 3 of his fans because they've asked me to. One is in the UK. And then the other 2, I believe, are in the States. I'm not sure. But seriously, when I say I was getting messages, these guys love him. They made the poster. Brandt's Babes fans made the poster to debut or to advertise that he was coming on my show. I've got it saved on my phone. I keep putting it out, which I was doing it again today. And it shows what not only a talented artist you are, Scott, but it shows what an amazing human being you are to have such loyal fans. It's amazing.
You're going to make me cry.
Okay, don't, because then I'll cry, and then no, because I cry all the time. Everybody knows that. Okay, so I want to talk about, so the song, what song was voted number 1 in April 2018 on Saddle Up Radio?
Get my mind off you.
Number one. And you were freaked out when you found out.
I couldn't even believe it. I have a lot of people in my corner, Allie, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to start sending you demos because I could hear it in your voice that you were a little bit jealous that you're not getting these demos. So I'm going to put you on my list.
Okay, good. I always wanted to be kind of like a music. Yeah, that would be cool. I wasn't jealous, but I'm for sure I'll sign me up.
Voice,
you can hear it. You can hear it. Now, along with the song Jukebox, these 2 tracks and about 4 others are getting daily airplay on various radio stations all over the world. Jukebox has more than 20,000 plays in 1 year, approximately 2,000 times per month, and has been doing very well on iTunes and Amazon. Now, I'm not going to talk about the songs yet. I want you to tell me, because I'll tell you, Jukebox is one of my favorite songs, you guys, like of all time. I listen to country music. I listen to all kinds of music, but I listen to country music. There's 2 favorite artists I have, Blake Shelton and Billy Currington, and now Scott Brandt. I absolutely love this song. So I want you to tell me, before we get into the 2 songs, and we have a big surprise for a lot of people, but I want you to tell me, Scott, because you've been doing this for a while and you do 3 different things. I mean, you're doing your own thing, you're doing cover, and then you're doing Elvis. Plus, you've worked with numerous band members that has a grandma that dies 4 times a year. If you had any kind of advice to give anybody that was out there trying to make a living at this or just starting out, what do you think you'd tell them?
Well, I know exactly what I can tell you. Get a guitar, learn how to tune it, and if you could get some music and instruction, off of YouTube. When I decided I wanted to start singing, I did, hire a singing teacher to help me out because there's different positions with your mouth that you need to use for different vowels. And when I first started singing professionally, I wasn't singing from my diaphragm. So if you really want to go into it, you gotta go for it, and you just gotta play and sing the living hell out of everything and do it with your heart. And that's the best advice I can give anybody. Just you're gonna suck at first. I've had people say, "Oh my God, that guy's terrible," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm right here. I can hear you say that." Like, you know, but you go up and do karaoke and you get good that way. And there's so many people that just have come out to see me that they haven't seen me in 5, 6, 7 years, and they're like, "Wow, man, you're like amazing," and I'm like, "Thanks, man, really?" and I was doing like a cover of somebody asked me to play like Duncan Sheik, like that song "Barely Breathing,"
Oh yeah.
and I used to love that song.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I was at this place called the Aztec in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, and it's right on the beach and boardwalk. And I had a band there, because I mix it up. I do a really cool version of "Achy Breaky Heart" by Billy Ray Cyrus. I've always done it for years. When that song came out, like all my friends used to laugh about it, and then I was in a cover band that was doing like Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains, and I actually used to sing "Achy Breaky Heart" and "Keep Your Hands to Yourself" by Georgia Satellite. So those are the only two songs that I ever sang.
Uh-huh.
And when I sang those two songs, we got the best crowd response out of anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more funny because I wasn't good back then, and I wanted to try this Duncan Sheik song. And I remember I was like, "I know what you're doing. I see it all too clear." And some guy's like, "You suck."
Oh my God. Gotta love
But you know what?
hecklers.
That's what makes you better.
Yeah, it
You know
does.
what I mean? You can't pack up your toys and go home.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the fourth song, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" It was an acoustic gig. I was there by myself, and then I did like "One Way Out" by Almonds, and then got people, and then I got the crowd back, and like I said, I've always got friends in low places, and that gets the bar just completely going.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Especially when you do the chorus for like 10 minutes, and everybody at the end of the night like, "I got friends," and the place is just roaring because everybody comes up to the mic and starts singing with you. And listen, I'm not doing anything special. I'm not a great singer. I just love to entertain people. I put it on my Facebook. I love to entertain people. I love to see people happy.
Well,
and if you can remember those things, if you could take those ingredients that I'm telling you to use right now,
mm-hmm.
and you sprinkle them in with a little bit of singing, and a little guitar playing, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. And not at first, but you're going to be great one day.
Well,
and I'm still learning too. I don't know it all yet, and I'm still learning every day. And Garth Brooks and everybody that you see on TV this morning. I was watching CNT. I watched the Country Music Channel. Before work when I'm having my breakfast, and I see what everybody's doing. And the songs that are out there. And, I want to be up there with them. I don't want to be an independent artist. I want a record deal. I want to be. I'd love to tour with Shania Twain. I'd like to open for her or get my feet on stage. But the whole thing is you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you got to start from square one. So you get a guitar, and if you can sing and you don't need any vocal instruction, that's cool. But when people tell you suck, you're gonna have to listen to them and use this constructive criticism. I never did that Duncan Sheik song ever again, by the way.
You were like, no, not doing it again. And I love how you talk about it as constructive constructive criticism, because a lot of people, I talk to artists all the time, and I talk to a lot of young artists, and what kills me is when they say, yeah, everybody said I sucked, so I stopped doing it. Or I've scheduled somebody to come on my show, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm not getting good response. I shouldn't be doing this, and I've retired. And I'm just like, oh my God, you have to be able to take the no's. You have to be able to, and the people and the hecklers, you have to be able to. And I love how you talk about you're still learning, because it's always a learning process, no matter what you're doing.
It is a learn. Listen, you can't be a full glass of water. You got to always be able to put something in. And you know what? Whatever you put in, you got to give some back too.
Yeah, and you do.
And I love people. I love animals. I'm a huge animal advocate lover.
Oh my God, me too.
I just I'm an animal. Not I'm pretty much close to a tree hugger, but I'm more of an animal hugger.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you have to, and this is something that I learned that I want to turn on to people listening. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
That when you first start, your craft, and you think you got a couple good songs. Like I had "You Don't Love Me" and I had "One by One." My sister Tammy, if you're listening, her favorite song is "One by One." It has been ever since I wrote it. Tammy, I love you. She's my big sister, and she's real happy about when her little brother does cool stuff like being on Allie's show today. And in case I forget, I want to thank you very much for having me on today. I love you.
I love you too, and thank you for coming on.
And we can't get enough of you, Allie. And you're really, really a terrific person. And I got to turn the mic over by you right now, and I just got to tell you something.
Oh God, you're gonna make me cry.
Do you realize how special you are that you're helping out all these artists? You're doing it for no money, and you're out there, you're doing your thing. You told me before we were on the air, you said, I've worked on radio before, and I wanted to, do a better interview than we did with other places before. So, and we kind of went over that itinerary. But, that means so much to me in my heart, because you actually took the time out to think about somebody like me. You don't know me, you know what I mean? We've never met in a supermarket. We weren't at a party somewhere, or you didn't see a Scott Brandt sticker in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You heard about me, and you're like, you know what? Let me hear a couple songs and blah blah blah, and then so my fans got to you, and for you to just put the thought and effort that you put in, I gotta give you that.
You're making me cry, Scott. Oh my God, I'm seriously crying.
Don't go Jerry Maguire on me.
Oh my God. You had me at hello. Anyways, Kay, I got a joke right now because I'm seriously wiping tears away. Thank you. I do it because I love music and I love the artists, and I know you want to be signed, but right now you're indie. I love being able to help as much as I can, and music's my life. So I don't just help musicians. I do any indie artist, actors, authors, whatever. But when I fall in love with an artist, like I fell in love with Jukebox, and this interview has been amazing. I'm 110%, and you're the same way with your fans. So I think we've got a lot in common, and I hope to God you come to Winnipeg, because I'm gonna.
You, me, and Alan Jackson.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, right? But I seriously, if you ever came to Winnipeg, I'd take you out to God's country where I grew up, and you want to talk about sitting around a bonfire playing music. Strumming on guitars and singing. That's all we did growing up. And it was so much fun. And when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I want to be around a bonfire with you. Anyways, Kate, now that you've made me cry, and I'm serious, if you could see me right now, you'd laugh. I know, am I still on FaceTime? You could probably see me crying. Anyways.
I want video footage.
Yeah.
Somebody can get out crying right now.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about
happiness. I want to see the big smile. Paparazzi's at your door.
Yeah, right. Oh, you so sound in Jersey right there. My door.
I was trying to do my I have this British accent that I do once in a while. Sometimes it's not right.
I'm Scottish, and I try to do it too, and I can't. My grandfather did, but I can. Anyways, let's talk about your songs. We're going to be talking forever. My God, I'm in love with you. Okay, so let's talk about what 2 songs are we going to hear from you?
There's this little song I have. It's the first song on my debut album. It's called Jukebox.
Love it. Love the song. Love the song. Crank it. I crank it. My mom actually came in and said, can you turn your music down? I'm like, no, you got to listen to this guy.
Come
So
on now, Mom. I want to
yeah,
see Scott Brandt fan.
exactly. And it's in my spot. It's in my Spotify list. If you will look on my, I have a thing called Great Music Mix, or Great Mix of Music. I have my own list on Spotify, and your song's in there. Jukebox is in there.
Oh my God, that's an honor, and I'm thrilled to hear that.
Now, what
Thank
other
you.
song? You're welcome. What other song are we going to hear? Debut. This is a debut, you guys.
It's a new debut on Allie's Attic. New. Song.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
Maker potential. Scott Brandt. Get my mind off you.
Oh my God, I can't even talk. That was hilarious. That was perfect. It's called Get My Mind Off of You if you didn't hear all those echoes. And it is a great song. And everybody that hasn't heard it, like, because you send your demos to fans and you have select fans that you do send out your new music to, people are going to fall in love with this song. And I don't care. You can tell me till the cows come home that you can't sing. You can sing. And I love this song. But I'm sorry. Jukebox is I can't get enough of it. I absolutely love the song. But Get My Mind Off of You is beautiful. It's a very beautiful song. And I just can't, now that I know that I'm going to get your demos, I'm just like so pumped. I can't even handle it.
No, you're going to get some demos.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited.
You're going to have to sign a release form for them to stop because they're just going to come at will.
It's okay.
Like, Allie, check out this one. I'm actually going to send you the demo of the newest one called Kisses.
Oh.
That is the slow song that I wrote for the new album, which is coming out in July, called Six String Rodeo. And it's going to be another brand new Brandt 10-song album. It'll be the follow-up to my debut. And let me just tell you something. This sucker kicks butt. I mean, it's got some really cool stuff on it. First album didn't have. And, we just had a ball making this album. We're putting the finishing touches on it. And like I said, this new song called Kisses is going to be on it. And I'm going to send you the demo, which I basically is just, like I said, my acoustic guitar and me singing it to the iPhone. I don't use effects. I don't use processors. Matter of fact, when you hear my songs and you hear me talk, you're like, holy cow, that's the guy. I like people to know it's me, like Get My Mind Off You. It's just like, it's just me. She wants to be on the cover of a fancy magazine.
See, I know the words.
I want to sound like I'm in the same room. She
and
wants
you do.
to write a book to the world and be on TV,
Good Lord.
And I just wanted to be just like that.
And yeah. Well, if you ever need anybody to do spoken word, because I can't sing. I mean, no, I can sing. Everybody can sing. I don't sing well. So if you want any spoken word on any of your tracks, let me know because I can do all kinds of cool voices. But anyways, that's besides the point. You can find Scott on all social media. And on Twitter, it's Scott Brandt Fans 2015, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And is that on all social media or is it Scott Brandt?
Yeah, well, you can find me on Facebook. We have Brandt Fans Forever, and then there's Scott Brandt Live, and then, basically those are the best ways to get a hold of me. And then on Twitter and Instagram, it's Scott Brandt 2015.
Okay.
And then, on YouTube, you can just, put in Scott Brandt Music, and voila! You're gonna get
there you are. Okay, cool.
There's even a cover. There's a video on there of me doing a cover of Three Doors Down, Kryptonite.
That's one of my favorite songs. Okay, I'm going to look.
You gotta check that out.
Yes, I'm going to. So everybody, make sure you're following Scott everywhere and make sure you're checking out his YouTube channel. I was going to say, I have a couple shout-outs that I want to make. I want to say hello to Becky. Becky has messaged me twice wanting to know when you're going to be on. So hello, Becky. Thank you for being one of his biggest fans. I want to say hello to Scott Brandt UK. I want to say hello to Brandt Babes. They are phenomenal. That's who turned me on to you. And all of your fans and all of your fan clubs. I don't even know what to call them. I don't know what you call fan. I don't have any, so I don't know. Actually, no, I do. I do have one. I'm sorry, Lori. I do have one. Oh my God, I'm so bad. But anyways, I want to just say thank you.
Me and Lori are your fans.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I want to say thank you to them because I wouldn't have discovered you otherwise, especially Brandt Babes. They are the ones that sent me, your music and you and I checked you out on Twitter and I listened to your songs and I was like, okay, I want them on, and they helped me get it all arranged. They did the poster. But I just wanted to make sure I said hello to them because they're a big part of this interview as well. So I didn't want to end it without saying hi.
Everybody that you gave a shout out to has just done a wonderful job helping and supporting me and showing me the love. And there's so many names, and for me to read the list, we'd be going into tomorrow. And you guys all know who you are. I message you guys, and I send you demos. You know the Scott Brandt love. You're part of the Brandt Brigade, and I love you. I got to give a shout out to the mighty G.O.D. God Almighty above to give me the strength every day to come up with these songs and have just this beautiful interview with somebody that I am just a huge fan of now. And I want to give a lot of glory to God for introducing me to you, Allie, which was from, my fans and stuff like that. But, I got to tell you something. The way things work, it's crazy. It really, really is crazy. And you can't just set out to do something. You got to set out and have a whole hat full of stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's what you do every day. You're like, well, I'm going to do this and this stuff. What if I didn't answer the phone? You know what I mean? Or well, what if it didn't connect today? And then you're like, well, wait a second. Is it 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock? And we're right across the street like two squirrels, like on caffeine. And so it's just like, you got to make things happen. And like I said, this is all about you and how well the people are responding to you. And like I said, Brandt Babes found out about you. You didn't contact us.
No.
So you obviously are doing a great job because we reached out to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there. I definitely want to give a shout out to all the radio stations that have been playing me for the last year, the last 2 years, the last 3 years. I love you guys. I love all the radio stations that play me. Like I said, there's so many of them. I just found out that one of my songs, Working Man, was just played 581 times already this week.
Oh my God. That is so cool.
Like I just got the chart texted to me from another one of my fans. Wow. So it's just this overwhelmingly cool thing. I feel the love, and I just want to give the love and extend it and share it. And I want to thank you so much for helping me share it, Holly.
You're welcome.
Really, thank you.
Anytime.
A big shout out to Allie.
Anytime you want to. Oh God, I'm knocking things over now. You're getting me all humbled and emotional. And stop it. Okay. Anytime something new happens, Scott, you're more than welcome to come back on anytime. Also, I have a page on Allie's Attic Show called Allie's Odds and Ends. And I have people that just send me their singles in MP3 format through my email, and I throw them up there once I get permission, and I help them promote it. That's what I'm here for. And I know you say I don't do it for money, and I don't right now, but it's going to happen. I'm going to start get advertising, and I'm going to start making lots of money doing this. And if not, I'm still going to do it. And I mean, that's my advice. And I love it when people talk about your passion. This is my passion. Like I said, I love all kinds of art, but I mean, I'm a music fanatic. I don't watch TV. And for me to be able to do this every day and meet new people and hear new songs and not the same kind of songs that are playing on the radio makes my entire day, life, whatever you want to call it. Talking to people like you who, Scott, I can hear your heart every time you talk, blows me away. And I've had so many fantastic interviews and I've met so many fantastic people, and I wouldn't be where I am without all these people liking me. And it still blows my mind because I'm like, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just bringing these people on and talking to them. But it's
You're
working.
Just being you, and that's beautiful.
Exactly. And
it's
you're the same.
Real.
And you're the same way. And I could talk to you forever. But anyways, we're going to stop this because I'm starting to get teared up again. Okay. Everybody knows I cry super easy. So everybody knows. But anyways, Scott, thank you so much for coming on my show. Keep doing what you're doing and stop saying that you're a singer by necessity, because I'm sorry, you're a singer. And you are definitely an entertainer. And I can see you getting that record deal that you want so badly, because if not, people in the industry are crazy. But thank you.
I'll get a top hat, I'll wear a black tie, I'll get a cane, and I'll like da-da-da-da-da-da.
That'd be cool to see. That'd be cool. But keep me updated. Seriously, anytime you want to come back on, anytime you have some big news, I'm always here. You know how to get a hold of me, and I'll bring you back on. I've done it with numerous artists. Anything new happens, I want to share it. That's what I'm here for. So, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your fans, and thank you for coming on my show. I totally appreciate it.
Well, that's a 4. Thank you. Thank you.
I know. That was a 4x4.
Sure
Oh, can't you tell I'm a country girl?
Right over me.
Exactly right. It's truck night in America. Okay, anyways, I'm giving away all my secrets here. Everybody's gonna know I'm a Tom girl. Anyways, I'm definitely a country girl. Thank you so much for coming on, Scott.
All right, thank you.
And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic Show. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. You'll never know who's going to make me cry. Thank you so much. Cheers, everyone.